Okay, so yesterday I was going to go ahead and do a video at practice, but we had a lightning strike and knocked our power out. So the point in practice I was going to record didn't get done. But before practice, one of the things I thought about was, could I upload a video? And I'm going to show that in a minute. So you've got uploading video, and here you have a bunch of options. And one of the options is YouTube, and I had located a YouTube video that I wanted, actually of an opponent we're going to play for one of our first matches, and I wanted to see what their team was like last year. So I found a YouTube video where they played. You would select the game type, which would be indoor volleyball. The video type, we're scouting, okay? So we don't know who the team is. Select the team. You can, I put it under personal because I don't want to share this with my team at this point. I'm just playing around with it. So I said personal, and then you put the URL in here. Now I did that, so I'm not going to finish this particular page. I'm going to go over to videos, and you can see here that here's my video that I'm looking at, and if I went over here and chose let's look at match videos, it'd disappear because it's not a match, and I don't practice, but you can filter that way. And so I'm just going to look at all videos, and I'm going to click on it. And now we've got a populated video, and I'm going to pause here for a second because I want to gather my thoughts on how to explain this best. Okay, so when you start into this process, one of the things you'll see, it'll actually prompt you when you have a brand new video to do what I'm about to show you, but I've already done most of it. So you would be taken to set up some form of the setup where you'd get a pop-up message saying, hey, you ought to identify these players. So you have this player identification wizard. You also have the team identification, player pictures identification, set up the corners. That I found was very difficult to use on the iPhone. And to be fair, this video is not the optimal video for using the tool. End zone video is better. This is about the worst because it's YouTube video, so it's not super high resolution. And notice I even got a message that it said suboptimal video here. If you can read that, it's kind of tiny print. But let's take a look at a few of these. So if I go to player identification wizard, it's going to come back and say, who did this dig? Okay? And if it says who did this dig, then you'll go and you'll pick a player and do it. These are for rallies that it doesn't have information. So I'm going to go back, and let's go back here. And I'll have to go back to setup again. Okay. So that's one thing you could do. So that happens at the end. It'll go through all the random plays that you don't have, and it'll ask you to identify the player. You don't have to, but it helps. So at this point, I think you'll see up here in the corner here that I have gone and identified 96% of actions. And for my purposes, that's fine. The team identification is more of a thing that you're going to want to do. So you go through and it'll show you both teams, and you can swap teams. Sometimes it will get the teams reversed, and we want to look at this particular team's players, and so you'll click on a player and you'll identify them. Right now, what this particular function we're looking at here is if you get a player on one team that really should be on the other team, maybe they have similar uniforms, or maybe both the liberos have white, and so now you've got to move one to the other team. So you would click on it, and then you would take it down here, and down at the bottom it says move to opponent. You'd move it to the opponent's team. That I don't need to do, so we're just going to save and finish that. And let's go back over to setup. You can do player pictures identification. Here's one picture that it doesn't know. It'll do pictures for all the players. So this is an unknown player. I believe this player is number 2. So I'm going to allot that to number 2, and I'm going to say save. And and you have to click the team. So I'm going to say save, and now we have all identified pictures. So if I want to look at the pictures it's using to identify number 1, here's some. Here's number 12. Here's number 14. Here's number 15. Now, that's not everything you see, but it goes ahead and identifies those players for you. So now You can set up the court corners, which I did on my iPad, and it's a little cumbersome, but I got as close as I can. What's nice about this is once you get it, and I would think from the end zone view it'll work much better, it then can start doing things like telling you how high you hit, how high the attack was, and things like that, and including some hit speeds and serve speeds and those sorts of things. So we're going to save that, and it's going to take a second here, or maybe more than a second here. Maybe okay, and then scoring. It has game scoring. I don't know if it picked up this here or if it has another method to do that. And it's got rotations that you can look available. So, sorry, didn't mean to click that. So now you can go in and start playing with this. So let's go to stats and click here. And now you'll see, now that we've identified all these players, they have put all the stats that they can together for this automatically. And if you click on any of these, let's say you wanted to see number one's attack errors, you click there and you get a video with all of the attack errors. I'm not going to play that, but it's there. And you can use filtering over here to go and choose players, choose actions, choose kill, so, I want to understand if I came from the Midwest region where blue, red, and the pipe are reversed. The blue and red are reversed from what they use here. So I wanted, definitions of these would be good. But I'll be able to figure that out pretty easily. Notice that there are some other little features in here. Let me show you. You have the court overlay, speed overlay is available. They are beta things, but you can also modify the time before an action, the time after an action that you want. So let's say things are getting cut off a little bit. You can increase or decrease the number of seconds before and after an action. You can show comments and that sort of thing. And it will do its best to try to show you when you set it up where an attack comes from, and also where a serve is from and to. You can also turn on trajectories, which I think with this quality of video is a little sketchy, but we could look at, let's do this just for fun. Let's go back and filter, and let's say we're going to look at serves, and we're going to look at serves for everyone. And we're going to say, let's look at ace serves, and let's just leave it at that. Okay, so we're going to apply the filter. Here are ace serves. There's 18 of them, apparently. So I'm going to turn on trajectories and turn on serve trajectories and see how well it does. I don't think it's going to be perfect, but let's see what happens. So let's play. Okay, see this here? They showed the serve. It does a little diagram here of where the serve went, and when it can, it'll show the track of an ace here. Now you can see it's not really doing much of that, but it is giving you where they're trying to serve. So it's somewhat helpful, and I think it'll improve over time. So that's a thought. In this case, by the way, we looked at both ace serves by both teams. So you can see opponent here. I could have filtered it out. If I go back to filters, I could have said my team, although I thought it would say Chino Valley, but it doesn't really matter. So that's just second day and playing with this. Today I'm going to go back in the gym and do more. I put up the iPhone app only because you can get a feel for it here. You can do most of the same things on the iPhone app, and I'm not going to demonstrate that right now, but I hope that helps. I'm going to have some other footage to play with and see the kinds of things you can do. If you have suggestions on things to try to demo, let me know. So there you go.